Located in the Energy Corridor, the Village School has world-class teachers providing exceptional learning experiences with a STEAM American curriculum in an international community with 90 countries represented in the student body. And they were once again named a top 15 K-12 private school in America, according to Niche.com's rankings, and they came in number 3 overall in Texas. Check out thevillageschool.com to register for their November 13th STEAM Day open house or to learn more about their private day and boarding school options for students from ages 2 through 12th grade.
Growing Up Jewish, art and storytelling is on view now through December 7th at Holocaust Museum Houston. This exhibition explores the key people, experiences, and community that shaped artist Jacqueline Colt Wall. Admission to the Holocaust Museum Houston is free for everyone on Thursdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Always free for children and students through the age of 18 and college students with a valid ID. Learn more at hmh.org/growingupjewish.
Today on CityCast Houston, our final episode, I'm joined by producer Carlignon Jones and Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis to talk about our favorite memories and what we've learned while reporting on our favorite city, H-Town. It's Friday, October 24th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. This is going to be a really hard episode to do. This is our final episode of CityCast Houston for the time being. And joining me, of course, is Carly and Brooke, as I mentioned. Carly, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Sad, but I'm so grateful for everything we've done here at CityCast.
Brooke, how are you?
Yes, it's a very bittersweet. Always love recording with you guys, but also very sad to see things come to an end.
Yeah. So I've been with this team now for about 3 years. I joined in March of 2023, spring break week. That was the week that HISD's takeover was announced by the state. And one of my first memories of starting at CityCast Houston was y'all just scrambling to do 2 episodes on the takeover. And that's when I knew, this team is special. And I can't thank y'all enough. I just want to start with that. It's been one of my favorite jobs in the media, working with y'all. Every day felt like I was working with family and friends, and I looked forward to coming to work. And, that's why this hit so hard that CityCast Houston is now going to be shutting down. So I just want to say thank y'all for making my life easy. My family thanks y'all, because when work is great, family stuff is great. You're not stressed out. Y'all are just amazing, amazing people. So I just want to start with that.
Yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. I really just enjoyed working with both of you. It was always so much fun to come on the podcast. I know I was a newbie to the podcast world, so just even finding my voice on the podcast has been really special. And just writing the newsletter and getting to connect with so many amazing Houstonians and write about my hometown that I love. I never can get sick of writing or talking about Houston. So it's just been so special.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great ride. I've been here about 4 years, almost since the very beginning. I've been here with Lisa Gray, if y'all remember those days, with Farrell. He was the first producer here, and he handed the role over to me. But it's been a great ride, and it's I want to say thank you to both of you as well, because y'all have definitely made this job amazing. I literally used to wake up every day and be like, thank you, God, for this for this opportunity and being surrounded by great colleagues. So I definitely appreciate everything, and the audience as well, because they definitely kept us pushing through the years.
Yeah, for sure. The audience, y'all are the best. The listeners that press play every single morning or open Brooke's newsletter and read and check out everything that she's been working on. Without y'all, it wasn't even possible. You supported us. And Stephanie Rice, who is our senior sales account executive, she did such a great job bringing on so many different businesses and organizations to CityCast Houston. So I just really want to thank them. I want to thank Stephanie, and she is just a wonderful teammate as well. The advertisers, thank you so much for spending your hard-earned money on the show. I can't thank y'all enough. That is such an important thing. And every advertiser believed in CityCast Houston. So I just really want to thank them as well. All of our CityCast Houston neighbors who signed up to become members. Thank y'all for doing that. I hope you got your tote bag. I got my tote bag. I'm
Yes, I
excited
got
about
my
that.
tote bag too this
I'm still going to
week.
carry my tote bag
Me
around
too.
and be excited about it. Just everyone. And, you mentioned some of the teammates that we've had here at CityCast Houston. I joined when the executive producer was Dina Kespa, and she was the one who brought me on. Dina, thank you so much. AK Al Momin was still working with the team as well. AK has become a dear friend of mine, and I just can't thank everyone enough. And then, of course, Laura Isensee, who was our executive producer here for the last year and a half. She is now with the Houston Chronicle working on their education team, so you can still check out all of her work. It's just been such a fun ride. And then behind the scenes, so many producers who have helped us. I can't name all of them. And then also all of our content team and then our headquarters team at CityCast. Thank y'all so much for believing in us for as long as you did. And look, tough decisions had to be made. And that's part of the media landscape. Unfortunately, it's hard. It's hard. I've been part of several startups in the media space. It never gets easier. And it's just one of those things, you have to fight and you just hope that you last. And unfortunately, for the time being, CityCast Houston did not.
Yeah, and shout out to our contributors as well, like Evan and Aunt Rochelle. They made this show amazing. We had so many amazing contributors. Also, like you said, Dina and AK, they were literally like a dream. I absolutely loved working with them, still communicate with them to this day. And they really like helped shape me as a producer. So I want to give a special shout out to them as well. And then shout out to our content directors, Will and Andrea. Both of them had a big hand in shaping the show that you heard every day. Noah, who's our technical director, he saved my life so many times. Whenever we're dealing with all these computers and technology, like he was a lifesaver. And then big shout out to Jermaine and our marketing team. Jermaine literally came down to Houston, shot some amazing content, which probably is one of the reasons why you were able to find CityCast in the first place. And Natalie Rivera. That was my first boss at CityCast.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we had Faith Bugenhagen, of course, contributor as well. You heard her on TNRs, which those are the initials that we call the Tuesday News Roundups behind the scenes. Those were just our Tuesday episodes. Erica Chang, who started at Cron.com and then is now with Houstonia Magazine. Eric Sandler, who is the editor at Culture Map Houston. He is awesome. He joined us for all the food episodes. Charles Blaine, who joined us as a conservative commentator. We brought him on during the election and he soon became just a regular part of CityCast Houston. I lean on him so much to learn about what is happening locally. Shannon Ryan, Pooja Lodia of ABC 13, they took so much time out of their busy schedule to always join us. Monique Welch and all of our friends from the Houston Landing, which also closed down this year. I can't thank y'all enough. Monica Flores Reichart, you are so amazing. You always joined us and educated me on so many different education related topics. There are so many people. So if I forgot your name, I promise it was not on purpose. Y'all are truly the best. There's just so many people who helped us. And I can't thank y'all enough.
It has been a pleasure to write the newsletter since 2022 and to honor our work at CityCast Houston and Hey Houston. We have compiled 713 things that we love about Houston. And this list is a killer list, you guys. Like we have everything from Beyonce to walking down Heights Boulevard to seeing someone get engaged at the water wall to, you know what? I think honorary mention is that Beyonce did not get hurt falling out of that Swingas car in her show. So that is on the list. Believe it or not, it's on the list. So if you love Houston, I highly recommend checking out this list that will run in today's newsletter and also on houston.citycast.fm. It'll be there as our honorary work for CityCast, and we hope that you love every single part of the list.
I'm so glad you brought that list up because we worked really hard on that. We had a lot of suggestions from all of our contributors, our teammates, listeners, readers, everybody. It is one of the most thorough lists that I've ever seen. So please check it out. Again, that's on the website. We're also linking it in our show notes, but we're also using that list to talk about today's episode, which is what have we learned about Houston while reporting on our beloved city? So let's go around. Let's talk about that. Carly, you kick it off.
So I'll say that one of the first things that I've learned about Houston and reporting on Houston is the history. Being at CityCast Houston, we've had so many shows and guests on that really taught me way more about this city than I ever would have known. From the Freedmanstown episode to the Karankawa tribe episode, the history of the Black Cowboy. Like, there's just been so many different things that I've learned, and I just love history. I'm a history girl in the first place. So being here and being able to interview those guests or be in those interviews and learn more about the city that helped shape me as a person was just amazing.
I love that, Carly, because I also have history as one of mine because I am a history buff. I still love writing about history. Even before I came to CityCast, it was one thing that I love reporting on, but I had so much fun writing the Houston history section in the newsletter. And I just learned so much about Houston that I just didn't know, even from iconic restaurants. Like, I didn't know how Nimpas got started. I didn't know that for HISD, it took until 1984 for them to fully integrate, which is crazy, you guys.
Crazy.
There were just so many fun facts. And even I think about like writing about the last time Selena performed at the Houston Rodeo. That was one of my favorite articles to write because it's like I knew about Selena, I knew about her legacy in Houston, but to really unpack what that meant for Houston and the rodeo, that was really, really special. So I just have learned so much, and it's been so much fun to learn more about a city that I grew up in.
Yeah, that's why I loved doing CityCast Houston because of the stories, right? The history, the current stories. One thing I learned is that local government has so many different stories that Houstonians aren't familiar with and they aren't following as much. And it's something that I think we need to improve on as a city where we need to be more civically engaged with the local government, not just state, not nationally, but local government, whether that be in Houston, if you are in Harris County, Fort Bend County, in a different city, different area, you should be really engaged in learning about the stories and things that are happening. And that was one of our missions, right? To come out and let you know about what is happening locally in your city, in your part of town. And I hope one thing that listeners and readers take away from this is that we need to be more engaged and following local things a lot closer than we did before. And I hope that was something that you learned from the show.
Yeah, definitely something I learned from the show because before, I will say, like, I've never been like super big into politics. I always definitely went out and voted and everything like that, always been a registered voter, and I would go and look up the candidates I was voting for. But being at CityCast and like learning more about really like the local level, I think most people, we do the presidential election and we kind of go on about a business. But at CityCast Houston, we had so many different political shows that I definitely really learned about what local government and local politics mean to our city. And I'm glad that, Raheel, that you were able to break it down for the people who aren't as politically engaged. Like, you did a great job doing that.
There are so many incredible events happening in Houston right now, and one that I'm looking forward to is Human Shelter Day on November 1st in Midtown at Bagby Park. Human Shelter, spelled HUEMAN, is a community-driven public art initiative reframing perceptions of homelessness through immersive art and storytelling. Human Shelter was created with local artists and neighbors with lived experience and was supported by a $1 million grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies Public Art Challenge. This community art celebration is going to feature live art activations, short performances, hands-on creative stations, and information on how to connect with local outreach resources. So mark your calendars now for the Human Shelter Day on November 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. at Bagby Park in Midtown. RSVP at humanshelter.com in the events section. That's HUEMAN shelter.com.
Have you heard the Houston Cinema Arts Festival is back? Presenting organization Houston Cinema Arts Society is all about positioning Houston as a premier fine arts destination, championing untold and underrepresented stories both locally, regionally, and from around the world, all by connecting through cinema. The Houston Cinema Arts Festival is November 6th through the 16th at venues all around town, with this year's theme being Here. an exploration of what it means to be present, shaped by experience, and navigating the uncertainty of our time. Join cinephiles, movie lovers, filmmakers, and art champions at over 50 featured films, short film blocks, documentaries, film competitions, live music performances, a photography exhibition, an arts market, filmmaker workshops, and more that make up this year's Houston Cinema Arts Festival. Go to cinemahtx.org to find out more.
So, speaking of things that I didn't know until I started writing the newsletter, was also just, I think I knew how amazing our food scene was in Houston, but it just gave me such a deeper appreciation for our restaurants and the people that are working behind the scenes to make the restaurants happen. Because of the food and drink section in the newsletter, I really got to just dive deep in the food scene, interviewing chefs and learning about new restaurants every single week. And I think two interviews that really stand out was just me being able to go to this New Orleans inspired cocktail dinner at Brennan's. So I had actually never been to Brennan's. It's the iconic Houston restaurant, but there was a historian there from New Orleans that tied the history of New Orleans with dishes and drinks served that night. And just kind of seeing how there's so much overlap between Houston and New Orleans. We've talked about this before, but it was just such a cool dinner. And I think that's like one of the highlights of being a part of CityCast and Hey Houston. Is just we got to do a lot of really cool things together. Like, let's shout out the Mardi Gras parade. Like, we literally mentioned it on a podcast and then somehow we were on a float, you guys. Like, that's crazy. We did that together.
Y'all were on a float.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Here's the story behind that one. I was all about like, hey, we should be on a parade float, right? Like, we should be the Grand Marshals of a parade. And we got it all set up. Rochelle Salinas from Mardi Gras Galveston reached out. She heard us on the podcast. Was like, yes, why don't you guys come and become Grand Marshals? I was like, absolutely. You know, I'm the unofficial mayor of Galveston. We set it up. We get all excited. And then the week of, I had to tell the team that I had to get a knee surgery the day of the Mardi Gras parade.
No.
And I had to miss out. I was so sad. I even tried to show up. I was like, I think I can make it. But then the meds were too much. I couldn't do it. I was on crutches. And yeah, that was my second knee surgery in 6 months. And the team just could not stop laughing at me. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Mardi Gras parade was like definitely epic, but just like you, Brooke, being a part of CityCast has definitely been a big part of me, like discovering new places, from food places to neighborhoods. I mean, before I got to CityCast, I was definitely one of those people that was kind of like stuck on the Southwest side, like used to my community, used to the things that are around my area. But being at CityCast, it made me go out to the Heights and go out to Montrose more and just discover new parts of the city. And then, I mean, of course, the suburbs. I know Raheel, he's giving me that eye about the suburbs, you know? But I've definitely got to like do so many different things in different areas, but also the food. Of course, I discovered so many food restaurants. I would have never known about August if it wasn't for Raheel. And I'm so happy I know about it because I've taken my whole family now. We all love it.
And I'm still so sad I missed the August meal. Like, I think that's got to still happen, you guys. I've still never been to August.
Brooke.
And I know that's like a big no-no with Raheel. I know it is.
Brooke, you have free will in this country.
So true. I can
you
go
can
myself.
go to August at any time you want. You don't have to wait for us.
I feel like
Come
I
on,
need
Brooke.
Raheel's like personal tour of August. I need like I need the breakdown of the menu. Like, I can't go myself. I think, yeah, I could totally go, but I need y'all with me.
No, I got you. I got you. That was definitely one of my favorite memories, just meeting up for lunch and meeting up for dinners all the time and trying out different things. And, you know, that's where one of my things that I've learned about the city is that we care about our diversity. We care about our culture. We always have. And it's been a calling card of the city. But I've learned that it's also become the identity when you describe Houston to others. When you say what stands out about Houston, the first thing that people bring up is the culture and diversity. And that is, of course, reflected in the food, the different types of businesses across the city. The way we interact with each other is a great way to reflect on the diversity and culture. And one way that we did that was during Hurricane Beryl. You know, we had to cover that. We had to cover some tough stories. And Hurricane Beryl, you know, we got frustrated with the fact that we were without power and we were, again, going through the situation where Centerpoint let us down. but it was also a time to reflect on we're here for each other. And it doesn't matter what your background is. At the end of the day, we're all Houstonians.
Yeah, and I think that's when I learned just how much of a vital resource we were for Houstonians because during Hurricane Beryl, I did a call out for readers to write in about just their frustrations on, not having power and just things that they were concerned about after the storm. And there were so many people that wrote in that actually made it into a podcast episode. So I think in that time, even though it was frustrating and there was a lot going on, I realized just, how key local media is and just providing those updates and providing people an outlet to talk.
Mhm.
Cause I think that's something I saw with the newsletter and the podcast is that people have a lot to say and they really want a way to voice their opinions. And so people would write in about so many different things that were going on in the city. And sometimes that would translate into a podcast episode. So that was really cool to see.
Another thing that keeps coming up, the music. I think the music is such an underrated part of our city,
Mhm.
whether it be the hip hop culture, whether it be Bun B and what he's doing with Trill Burgers, Cactus music, which will always hold a special place in my heart. Y'all know I always put on for Cactus music. But to me, one of my lasting memories of being at CityCast Houston was around my birthday this year when I got to watch Krungbin at Cactus Music in a private concert. There was 200 people there. And then the next day we went and watched them at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. I took my daughter with me. And I just remember driving back, just so happy that I got to share this special Houston moment with my daughter, who's forever going to love that band now.
Yeah, and like speaking of music and CityCast, like I remember one of my fondest memories was actually getting to interview Little Kiki, which is like a
Yes.
Yes,
Houston
that's so
rap
cool.
legend. Like imagine just being like a young journalist, like starting out in your career and getting to do something like that. Like it was just so cool. So definitely got afforded a lot of great opportunities while being here.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about how I had never been to the Ensemble Theater before working for CityCast Houston, and Carly and I actually
Oh
got to go to a
yeah.
play together, and we saw it was about Maya Angelou, and it was really
Hmm.
awesome. And then I also recently went earlier this month to see Aquila and the Bee, and if you remember, that was a movie with Kiki Palmer, and to
Kiki
see the
Palmer.
Yeah.
Houston production, it was so much fun. I was laughing so hard throughout the whole play, and it just made me appreciate just that we have like so many amazing local theaters in Houston and just that theater itself is very special because it's Black owned and it's
Mhm.
very historic and I had never been before until I started working this job.
Yeah, that theater is awesome. Me and Brooke had a great time. I actually think I went twice. I think I went with you one time, and I think I went back with my cousin because we just enjoyed going with you so much that I'm like, let me go back,
Oh,
see what
that's
else they
awesome.
have. So it was like super fun. But like another interview that was like really big for me in my career was Mayor Turner. I got to interview Mayor Turner, and from that interview, I'm going to tell you what I learned. Be able to pivot and get creative. So
Mhm.
that day, me and AK went out to the opening of the land bridge and we got out there with all of our equipment. I mean, we're packing bags up the hill and everything like that. And we realized like either the equipment wasn't charged or like we were missing a big part of the equipment. Whatever it was, we could not work with it. So AK's like, I'm going to run to the store. I'm like, I don't think we have time. He takes off. He goes to the store. And then as he's gone, they start wrapping up the press conference. And I'm like, oh my God, like we didn't get any of the interviews. So I whip out my phone and I go to the voice memos app. Shout out to the voice memos app.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
went over there and I got an interview with the mayor and he was so nice about it. And, RIP Sylvester Turner. But that was definitely a big memory that stood out for me because it was just so cool. He was so sweet and he didn't judge me for using my phone to interview him.
Hey, just get it done. Just get it done.
Get
And
it
that's what
done.
we learned when we were at the Houston Rodeo, which has become one of our staples when we cover things across the city of Houston. Houston Rodeo Week was our biggest week. We would always do an
Mhm.
entire week around the rodeo and we would go out and try the different foods. And y'all actually did a whole episode before I got here on trying
Yeah.
out the various wild things to eat at the Houston Rodeo. And that one was such a treat to listen to.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience because, like, I've grown up going to the Houston Rodeo. I've been many times, but I've never tried the food that I tried when I went with Carly and AK. I tried pickled pizza. I mean,
Mm.
there were some gross moments, but we had a blast. Like I was like laughing and kind of gagging at points, but laughing.
It was definitely a memory because we had like a chicken sandwich that had cereal on
Oh
top
yes.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Stomach aches is what we went home
Yeah.
Oh
with. Like
my
it
gosh.
was crazy, but it was so fun. And like the social media clips, they should still be up on CityCast Houston Instagram. So if you want to scroll down and find those, they're hilarious.
And
Oh my gosh.
wasn't there a year it was your first time ever at the rodeo, Carly, when you went with
Yes.
AK? That's what I thought. There was a
Yes.
whole episode around that.
Yeah, literally my first time ever going to the Houston Rodeo was here to cover this Houston Rodeo. I got press passes and that was so fun getting to go to the Bum B concert. I think that was what we ended up covering. Me and AK was like the Bum B concert that night, Black Heritage Night. And it was so awesome. I mean, like, ever since then, I've been at the Houston Rodeo just every year for a couple days. I don't go one day, I go a
Yeah,
few
Yeah, go a
days.
couple. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear those episodes, everything that we've done, whether it be episodes, newsletters, content that we put up on the website, on our Instagram as well, that's all going to be there. So you can always go back and revisit your favorite episodes. We won't be putting out new episodes, but we will still be part of your life. If you want us to be, you can go listen to old episodes. Everything will be up there on houston.citycast.fm. Find your fall vibes in Pearland with October events worth getting out of the house for. Pearland Restaurant Weeks runs through October 31st with 19 participating restaurants and curated meals benefiting the Pearland Neighborhood Center. Prepare for a ghostly good time at the Hops and History Cemetery Tour on October 18th and 24th. Partake in a hike through history from Valentin's Brewing Company to Pearland's oldest cemetery, led by special pathfinders from the past. Hear from early Pearland residents and enjoy a cold beverage back at the brewery. Gather your shopping buddies and join Pearland Boutiques on October 24th and 25th for the Pearland Boutique Shop and Hop. Enjoy drinks, snacks, and incredible shopping while exploring the city and completing your event passport. Find more details about all of Pearland's pumpkin spice fueled activities at visitpearland.com/events. That's visitpearland.com/events. Fall in love with downtown Houston this season. Grab your blanket and your bingo card for Blanket Bingo, one of the city's favorite fall traditions. Or cozy up under the stars for outdoor movie nights featuring everything from Wicked to Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my personal favorites. Need to shake off those pumpkin spice lattes? Downtown Houston has free fitness in the park, yoga, hip-hop dance, and breathwork at Trebley and Market Square Park to keep you moving. And yes, even your four-legged friends get their own Yappy Hour Paw Tea. And mark your calendar, Dia de los Muertos takes over downtown with live music, art, kids activities, and a glowing community ofrenda. Plus a family screening of Coco that will give you all the feels. The weather is nice, so it's time to make this season unforgettable. Plan your downtown adventure with your friends and family at downtownhouston.org. Downtown Houston, get energized and revived. One other thing that came out of the news last week that we were shutting down operations here in the city of Houston for CityCast, we asked for voicemails. We wanted to hear from you about how CityCast Houston impacted your life. And we received so many emails, voicemails, everything. So I just want to thank everyone for sending in all of your emails, all of your well wishes, all of your kind words. We are so grateful for the support, but I do want to play all of these voicemails now. So enjoy these. We really loved hearing this. We teared up. Here they are. Thank you so much for sending these in.
Hi, I wake up every morning and I read Hey Houston to look for events and see what's happening. I've learned quite a lot about what's happening in my own city that I didn't even know. I'm super bummed because it's the first thing that I do every morning besides my social is view what's going on in the city. I hope that you guys do come back soon. Provide a roadmap to us to how we can help that happen sooner. thank you so much for all of your content, all of the hard work that goes into this publication. Please come back.
Hey, CityCast. This is Erica Chang, former food reporter and current Houstonia reporter. I just wanted to say that I don't think without CityCast my career in Houston would have grown as fast and as good as it did. I really appreciate everything that the show did for me, not only as a listener, but as a participant. And I don't know what Raheel and Brooke and Carly and at the time Laura, I had no idea what they saw in me, but the fact that they wanted me to keep coming back and talk about everything that I do just really meant a lot to me. I was a really young reporter at the time, and CityCast kind of changed my life. It's going to be really sad to see you go. Houston needs and loves something like that, and I think that's really been shown with all the responses online and everything and, everywhere. But thank you so much, CityCast Houston. You guys have always been awesome and really great, not just for listeners, but for journalists like me. And I hope one day it comes back. It would be awesome. I think it's just something we really need. Thank you again. Best of luck to everyone. Shout out CityCast team. Thanks so much.
This is David Cleveland. I'm a longtime listener of the podcast. Really sorry to see that it's ending. Really enjoyed the 3 or so years I listened to it. I wish you guys all the best of luck with your next endeavors. And I guess my favorite part, I think, was the Friday wrap-up shows. I got a lot out of those, and also the Wednesday discussions of food and drink. I also, enjoyed the ones you did about, different festivals going on or different events I might not have known about. I recall Raheel did one on the Gandhi Museum, and I had no idea that was even something that was here. That's just one example, but I think you guys did a great job of finding things that were interesting and exposing them, and also covering some of the more serious matters that we had in our city, or still have. So I do hope that the podcast can return in some form in the future. But for now, guys, good luck. I enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, it is your friend Megan Clanahan, co-owner of Houston Moms. I was so saddened to hear the news. And just know that I am thinking of you all and cheering you on in this next stage of life. But you asked for memories, so I just wanted to share a couple. I'm never short-winded, so I'll do my best. But my favorite to date was the podcast we just taped on keeping things under $100 for fall-friendly fun. And Raheel and I got so tickled, and I wasn't expecting him to just dissolve into laughter the way he did as we were talking about my teen daughter's Halloween costume, and it just made my day. It had been a minute since I have cried last since that, and it was so fun. He's so genuine and truly loves Houston, and that is what I have seen in every interaction that I've had with Raheel, that Houston is his place and the suburbs are his home, and we bonded over that, and I am incredibly grateful for the commentary and education and the events and all of the things that he has brought to Houston and your team has brought to Houston to really highlight all of the amazing things that are happening here in our city. And I think this is a big loss for now, but I am hoping that there's some revitalization. I know how tough it is, but I'm sending you all of my love and thank you for the laughs, the tears, and for everything that you've given me, an opportunity to be on a platform and speak and do those things. And to see you all out at St. Arnold's was so fun. To meet people in person when you've only seen them on a screen it's a totally different experience. So thank you for that. Thank you for all you've done. Wishing you guys all the best.
Hey, J. Christian Gary, Focus Fights Audio, friend of Raheel Ramzanali. I mean, I just want to say, when it comes down to CityCast Houston, I loved the show because it gave people a right understanding on how Houston really functions, how Houston is a go-to city and a go-to destination for everything and everybody, whether you're a foodie or a sports fan or just an overall person that just want to have fun. And it's going to suck that CityCast Houston will no longer be on the docket, but I hope that more opportunities for the greater Houston area to shine will be on full display. And of course, me being a fan of Raheel, I can never get enough of that dude putting over our culture, our city, our background, and hopefully he'll be able to do more of that, even if it's behind a broadcast booth. But still, though, I'll miss CityCast Houston. I loved the Whataburger review episode that y'all did, and hopefully the memories will continue to last. That's all.
Hi, CityCast. My name is Megan, and I currently live in 3rd Ward, and I am a proud former resident of Montrose. Hey, Brooke. I just wanted to say I was devastated by the news that you guys are leaving. I have been listening for however long it's been since I've lived in Houston, back when Lisa was on it, and over the years there's been so many changes, but I've always really enjoyed listening to the different opinions and the different how-tos and the different where to goes and what to eat. And I'm really, really, really going to miss that. I look forward to listening to a new episode every morning, and I think it is such a loss on Houston to lose this podcast. And I will surely miss you guys. I hope one day you'll be back. And I also just wanted to say I'm so sorry for those of you that are losing your jobs. This is just, I know it's devastating that we're losing the podcast, but I just can't help but think about the human aspect and that you guys have put so much work into this podcast and you guys have done such a great job, and it just sucks that it's gonna be no more. And I just want to extend my heartfelt apologies, and I really hope to see more about what you guys are each individually going to do in the future. Wishing you the best, and hope you go far and you guys stay all connected to each other, because I think you guys all have like really good chemistry, and I've just really enjoyed you guys over the past many years. So cheers.
Oh, that was so much fun to listen to those. Thank y'all. Seriously, it makes the news a little bit easier to digest. You know, this is a huge career change coming up for all three of us, and we really appreciate all of the kind words that we did something good here, and that was what we set out to do. So thank you for sending those voicemails in. All right, Carly, Brooke, the hardest part, our final goodbyes.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll dive in. So I definitely want to say just thank you to everyone who's ever listened in to CityCast from the very beginning to the new listeners. All of you are definitely super appreciated. I'm just so thankful for the opportunities from being a part of CityCast, from grand marshaling the Mardi Gras parade to being on TV with Deborah Duncan. Me and Raheel did a podcast panel before where we were like giving advice to other podcasters, you know, getting to interview the mayor. We've gotten to go eat at amazing restaurants, and had even like the chef from Ninfa's came out and, you know, presented some new items on the menu to us. So there's just been so many unforgettable moments that are going to always stand out to me in my brain. Even getting to host like the first event at CityCast Houston with going to the Rockets game, like that is amazing. Who gets to do their first event at the Rockets game?
We did a live taping at the Houston Rockets game. Yeah, it was so much fun.
And we were like one of the first podcasts to do that. So like, you know, like shout out to us. This job has been a blessing. Working with my coworkers, I said that earlier, but y'all are amazing people. And it's been such a pleasure to be in an environment that's been encouraging, loving, and uplifting for so long. I started nearly 4 years ago, and I got to work with amazing people around the country too because I was a rover. So shout out to everybody else in the CityCast network as well. And I just want to give a final shout out also to our headquarters. David and Andy were a big part of my journalism career as well, because whenever I applied for this job, they saw something in me. They just saw like this journalist that was just really like eager to get started and go. And they made sure to give me this opportunity. Natalie, as I mentioned earlier, Sarah, there's so many amazing people that I've gotten to work with over the years. So shout out to every single team that I got to rove with, because y'all are amazing. And shout out to the roving team as well, because there are some super talented producers on the roving team. Lizzie, Elizabeth, PJ, who has been helping us out a ton this week. Amazing, amazing talent at the roving team. But I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much, because you've impacted my life in such a positive way. Like, it's been a great thing. And shout out to CityCast Houston. Hopefully one day we'll be able to be back in your ears. But until then, wishing everybody the best.
Yes, and I'll just follow that and say thank you to all the readers that reached out over the last 3 years that I was writing the newsletter, just all the chatter responses, everybody that had just interesting things to say. I just appreciated all of the emails. I appreciated every reader that just opened the newsletter every day, because you didn't have to, but you read Hey Houston, and you were able to hopefully connect with Houston in a deeper way. And this job has been such a blessing. It really has been so much fun every day to wake up and do this job. I really did not dread it one single day. And I think that has a lot to do with my coworkers and the people that I worked with, like working with Raheel, Carly, Laura, Dina, AK over the years just has been so much fun. And I feel like I laughed so much. I had a blast. We got to, as Carly said, eat out at amazing restaurants, have once in a lifetime opportunities. I was thinking about being on Great Day Houston the other day and thinking like, I never thought I would be on Great Day Houston. I'm just a regular Houston girl, but I got to be on Great Day Houston and just experience so many once in a lifetime opportunities because of Hey Houston and CityCast Houston. And so I know those memories are going to be the things that carry me and things that I'll reflect on for the rest of my life. So saying goodbye, but not forever. Hopefully, we will always stay connected in whatever way is possible. We'll still be here in Houston, loving it and exploring it, and just doing all the fun things here.
All right. So that leaves me. And as the host of CityCast Houston, everyone heard my voice. You saw me on social media. You saw me on TV presenting and pumping up CityCast Houston. But none of that was possible without everyone behind the scenes. Carly, Laura Isensee, Dina, AK, all the names that we've mentioned already. Brooke doing tremendous work. Y'all made my job so easy. And I've been fortunate to work in Houston in the media landscape since 2007. And this was the best job. I looked forward to coming to work. I got paid to express my love for the city of Houston. And I got paid to talk about where the city fell short and how we could do better. And that's something I'll never take for granted. And I don't know what is next. So we'll see. But for the time being, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I can't thank our headquarters team enough for everything that they provided for us. I can't thank all of our other colleagues across the CityCast network for all of the support, for all of the brainstorming ideas, for just those moments where we just wanted to air out some of our grievances, for being there for us. Y'all are tremendous. We're going to be rooting for CityCast. I can't wait to see what happens with the company. We are fans of the network and we know they're going to succeed. And I can't thank them enough again for the opportunity. So with that, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything that you've done to help grow CityCast Houston, whether that be a share, whether that be a text, subscribing, rating and reviewing the show, all of the stuff that I always said. I really appreciate that. That's it. Thank you. Y'all are the best. Well, that's it for this team here on CityCast Houston. This is our last episode for the foreseeable future, and even though we're closing up shop in Houston, it's not impossible that CityCast could return one day. So if you stay subscribed to this podcast, you'll be the first to know. If you want to stay in touch with me, Raheel Ramzanali, then follow me on Instagram at Raheel Doing Things, or just Google my name, check the links in the show notes. You can find me. There's not that many Raheels working in the city of Houston. Our music is by All the Kimonos, and this show is produced by Carlignon Jones, PJ Shahamath, and Elizabeth Kama. Brooke Lewis writes our Hey Houston newsletter. And one last thank you to you. You made us a part of your day. You made us part of your life. And together we helped make Houston feel a little more connected. For the last time, I really hope you learned something new.